What was it like to be part of the team that launched Groupon? Our next guest can tell us. He joined Groupon in September 2008 when it was still technically part of The Point. Shawn Bercuson handled overseas mergers and acquisitions as Groupon's VP of Business Development. He worked closely with founders Eric Lefkofsky and Andrew Mason as the company grew at breakneck speed. Groupon now has over 9,500 employees, according to recent filings. Bercuson later left to work at a Chicago VC in New York at Lightbank with Lefkofsky, and now runs Prescreen, a movie streaming company that launched last month. Shawn, welcome to Bloomberg West.
Thank you.
So you were on a rocket ship at Groupon. What was it like to work there? Bring us on the inside.
You know, it was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I feel so lucky to have had that opportunity. We had no idea that we were about to experience what became Groupon. So it was a learning experience, and I hope to take all that stuff that I learned there and continue with my next ventures.
Now Groupon has obviously hit some bumps in the road recently. Some have been questioning Andrew Mason's judgment. What is it like to work with Andrew Mason? What's he like?
Well, Andrew is Andrew. I mean, he's actually a great leader. He does, his vision for what he was able to do with the company and bring his charismatic and character into that product was, it's unmatched.
I'm always curious about how things work there and what those people are like, because they're, particularly with Lefkofsky and Mason, they seem of such a different age and maybe really different approaches. I haven't dealt with Lefkofsky much. Mason seems like, I said, kind of fun-loving, charismatic. What's Lefkofsky like in the office? I hear he's intense.
He's extremely savvy, and I think the two of them, they work well together. Brad Kewell's another one who should be mentioned as well.
And even Brad,
Brad's
what are they
the
like?
Operations guy, right?
Right, and he and Lefkofsky have been partners for years. And you were also working in an investment vehicle with them. Like, what's their sort of approach? Do they sit back and let people, you got a great idea, let me see how you execute, or they're very much involved?
Every business is different, and so some of the businesses, they're more hands-on, and others they sit back and they watch it grow. So they're all three very different. They all bring a lot of different skill sets to the table, and I think it works well.
I know you're still a shareholder, but when you look at what's going on there, I mean, we've reported that the valuation of the IPO has plummeted from potentially $25 billion to $3 billion. I mean, what do you think is going wrong?
Again, I'm a shareholder, so I don't know how much I can say, and because of that, I'll take a seat back. But long story short, I think one thing that you have to do, and not just with Groupon, with any stock, is you have to ignore some of the sensationalism on both sides, the lows, the highs and the lows, and the market will dictate what the actual price is, and you need buyers and sellers, and I think at both of those prices that you mentioned, I'm not quite sure there's been transactions. So it's a private company, which is probably a good reason for that, and we'll just have to sit back and wait and see what happens in the public markets.
Now you're starting your own company now, Prescreen, an independent movie streaming service.
Sure.
This is a competitive game with Netflix and VOD and all of these different Apple. What makes you guys special? So
we don't just do independent movies. We are a marketing and distribution platform for content owners, whether you're an independent filmmaker or whether you're a distributor. And what we do is we try to help those filmmakers find an audience, or those content owners find an audience. So a lot of what happens right now, there's a lot of neat tools, and we're, like you mentioned, Netflix and iTunes and Amazon, they're all along the streaming market. Netflix, obviously, with their recent changes, we are too. We see consumer behavior. We see that people want content, and we're just trying to help bridge that gap, make that process more efficient. So, for example, this past year at Sundance, there was 4,000 films submitted, and only 38 got distribution. All
right, Shawn Bercuson of Prescreen will be watching you guys
in
this content war.